Greetings, I'm Scott King and you're watching episode 8 of Difference Makers, the show where we'll celebrate the teachers of the Atlanta Public School System. Our focus today is on the district-wide Teachers of the Year, which through a rigorous process, finalists arose from a very talented yet competitive group of educators around the district. Being named finalist for District-wide Teacher of the Year, Keisha Payne of Warren T. Jackson Elementary School, Barry Blackman of the Best Academy Middle School, and JAngela Wilder of the Carver School of the Arts are three educators who now enjoy the coveted status in academia. But as the expression goes, with great things comes great responsibility. We explore this trio of educators who you will see that their passion shows in their work. Would you like to know more? Stay tuned for Difference Makers 8, which begins right now. Educator Keisha Payne is a staple here at the Warren T. Jackson Elementary School on Atlanta's North Side. Rightfully so, she was recently named the Elementary Teacher of the Year for the district. This iconic member of the Jackson community has committed 8 years of service to date, educating third grade students and an inclusion class as well. As you'll see in her video segments, this New England native remains very positive about every student's educational outlook. To her, teaching is not just a job, but an opportunity to cultivate future leaders who may one day change the world. Her philosophy on education does not go unnoticed, however, as seen recently in these speech segments captured at APS events.
In our schools, we emphasize open communication with families to build the communication and the relationships that we know are critical to supporting student success. Grade level teams are working together to ensure that students benefit from seamless transitions between classes and also grade levels. I am happy to report that in Atlanta Public Schools, we are addressing the needs of the whole child. We are looking at social, emotional, and developmental concerns, as well as academic needs. Every child's self-esteem is important to us. We know that how a child feels about his or her performance is important and deserves our support and attention. We celebrate curiosity, creativity, and innovation in our classrooms. Teachers are embracing new technologies to support instruction.
It's been an honor all the way around. I can tell you that I definitely feel more confident and have more experience in articulating my instructional strategies. I think I trust my guts and my instinct in the classroom, but I think now I definitely, through the interview process, have gained more experience in articulating my processes during instruction. It's fun and interesting and a little surreal that perfect strangers know who I am after seeing the video. So it's been an experience just shaking hands and getting to know people from other schools. That's been exciting and fun and is still happening a few weeks later.
As part of her celebration, I produced this video package profile of Ms. Payne and somewhat of a day-in-the-life experience in her classroom. Much like our two other finalist presentations, we will see interviews with students and personnel to help us understand a larger view of the finalists. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2014-2015 Elementary Teacher of the Year, Ms. Keisha Payne.
How many syllables are in the word justices?
3, 2, 3.
Good job, Skylar. Repeat after me. Segregation.
Segregation.
Thurgood Marshall.
Thurgood Marshall.
Excellent. I am a passionate natural educator. I come from a long line of teachers. I can honestly say that every member of my immediate family is an educator in some capacity. So I grew up with teachers and fell in love with teaching that way. I think that learning should be fun for kids, particularly for elementary school age students. I think it is extremely important to place an emphasis on individualized small group instruction. I think that the more opportunities you build for students to have one-on-one and small group learning activities, the more meaningful and engaging learning will be for students in the classroom.
So I'll hold the ruler in place, and you go from that dot to this dot, right against the edge of the ruler for a nice straight line. Good, that's okay. Erase that, that's fine. All right, do you see the difference between the one we did with the straight edge and the one you didn't? Good, good job.
I loved school when I was little. I loved it, and I love it now even still. I was an organized student, and I enjoyed every part of school. I think that language came naturally to me even as a little girl. Reading and writing and drawing and solving. I enjoyed every aspect of school as a child. I think it's really important to keep in mind that they're children, and it's not developmentally appropriate always for them to be confined to their desk where they're seated all of the time. So I think part of what helps to keep things interesting is giving students opportunities to get up and move around the room, move around the campus, and apply the skills that they're learning.
She is exciting, at the same time demanding, at the same time inspiring. It's a pleasure to be in her class. She is a very, very popular teacher, both with colleagues and parents and students. Everyone is excited if they get to be in Keisha Payne's class because they know they're in for an exciting school year.
Raise your hand without blurting if you can tell me the name of our final historical hero. Jake.
Salvador Perez.
Oh, close. Anybody else? Help us, Kate.
Cesar Chavez.
Good. Say Cesar Chavez.
Cesar Chavez.
I like how Miss Payne lets me do extra work because I love to work on things, and I usually like to read, so she lets me read extra time, and she lets me work on things that people aren't working on. That makes me feel kind of special, though.
I think that developing a solid routine where students know what to expect, what's going to happen next, and where students have multi-step directions so that there are opportunities for whole group instruction to give directions, also opportunities for small group instruction to work on skills, but definitely working in time for one-on-one individualized instruction as well. So in every lesson, I am looking for ways to build each of those three types of opportunities: whole group, small group, and individualized. I have had the honor of working in several inclusion situations, and I think it is a really interesting opportunity for collaboration between teachers and also between students. In a situation where strengths and weaknesses are matched up so that we can really learn from each other.
We're very lucky. We have a great school and we have a lot of great teachers. Keisha Payne is probably among the very, very best. She has a natural gift and a natural talent for working with children.
That beautiful ×3 back table. So start with 0 times 3 and go all the way to 12
we did
times
multiplication
3.
today, and
Okay.
instead of making us like write the 3 times table like a million times, like we actually did worksheets that made it entertaining.
One of the factors, because before you wrote anything, that said 9 times blank equals 27.
In every decision you make, keep students first. I say communicate clearly with parents and administrators. I say collaborate effectively with your colleagues and keep students top of mind.
Helping people and the environment.
I think that when you walk through the doors of our school, you feel our commitment, our collaboration, our communication with families to support student success. And I think that every part of our culture surrounds that.
The Best Academy Middle School is fortunate to have our next educator, Mr. Barry Blackman. It's not uncommon to hear him talk of education and how he got involved. He often states that he ran so hard from it that eventually it caught up with him. This well-educated Jackson, Florida native began his classroom voyage in 2003 in the Duval County school system as a reading teacher. But please note that Blackman is not all about Blackman. As time allotted, he stepped away and committed his educational talents to other causes, a spirit that he openly says was motivated by his father and friends. Today, Mr. Blackman has perhaps met his highest achievement as the 2014-2015 District-Wide Teacher of the Year. A visit to his classroom setting will put you on notice that you are not in a traditional classroom, as classy dance moves, nice attire, good stewardship, and your cafeteria voice may be appropriate candor for your travel bag. But even outside of his room, he will have you on edge while he's at the podium addressing the masses. Let's hear what Blackman has to say in these two segments.
See, as a teacher, when I interact with my young scholars and my young men, I'm able to encounter and influence every possible career that can be experienced. Through them, I'm moved. Through them, I am moved by their grit. I'm touched by their curiosity and enthralled by their ambition. And because of this, I am able to see their future. I see doctors, lawyers, musicians, scientists, and even Atlanta Public Schools' future superintendents. I see greatness. I see me.
Distinguished panel, esteemed guests, and most worthy finalists. Before I begin, I want a little crowd participation. Can I do that? When I ask you who's the best, I want you to say the word me. And when I ask who has that Atlanta Public School pride, I want you to say with the Georgia, ah. Let's try it. Who's the best? Me. Who's the best? Me. Who has that Atlanta Public School pride?
Oh, well, actually, it's actually been a blessing, man, to be recognized with such an honor and to be put on in a situation where I can continue to represent my school, my young men, even Atlanta Public School systems with that great honor. It's actually been wonderful. The support of my colleagues and administration staff, the parents, the community. It's been truly an honor representing Atlanta Public Schools as the District-Wide Teacher of the Year. Why did it happen? Who what? Who did it? Who did it? They want to know who did it. Because they're going to look for the usual suspects. You got it? Yes, sir. Okay, if you are in school, something turns up missing. Wait, where's my iPhone? Oh, something turns up missing, right? Mm-hmm. I want to know who did it, how they did it, when they did it, when they did it, and where they did it. Where they did it. See how that's working? Yes, sir. So on your sticky note, good job. Write down each one of those for our informational strategies today. My style inside my classroom is very outside the box. I use a lot of different methods and try to mix my own type of gumbo within the classroom, such as discipline and humor. And I believe with those two, that will foster enlightenment with my young men. A lot of young men, when I end up teaching, they enjoy it. They look forward to it. With my particular chance that I create, things to have them have pride in their work, not only just, pride in school, but just pride in themselves. All right, here we go. Table 1. Move to Article 1. Table 2. You have Article 2. I come from a background of educators, and to me, I actually ran from it. I mean, I ran so hard that I ended up getting caught being in education. I was looking forward to journalism, and I found out when in journalism, the way young men and young ladies in magazine business, you have to know how to read. And I went into a few of the inner cities and were handing out magazines with the internship that I had, and I saw that the young men and women had issues with just simply reading the articles, reading the publications, and it sent a spark through me to say, you know what, I love journalism, but I might be in the wrong field. I wanted to do something about those young men and women who had issues with reading. And what better way than not teach language arts and reading?
His own self, his own person.
His own person. Be your what? Self. Hip hip. Hooray! I wanted him to be himself, which I know I tell you this all the time. Be you what? Self. And always keep your what? Composure. Composure. When you can keep your composure, remember Byron couldn't keep his composure. He started bullying. Even his own family started bullying. Yes, sir.
One thing that he does is actually lead others in adopting some of his practices. As leader of our culture and chants and things of that nature, a lot of people have adopted some of the things that he's done. Last year, he really was a spearhead in 6th grade, 7th grade, now is doing some of the very same chants that he does.
I didn't invent how to be a gentleman, right? So somebody had to invent it or have those strategies so we can use at our school. So he's gonna put, that would be either what, expository or would it be narrative?
Expository.
It'd be expository, very good. Well, I remember back in the day, we used to wear Letterman jackets. We would take pride in walking around with our high school jackets or our pen, our lapel pins. And I wanna bring that back to schools in Atlanta Public Schools, and even at Best Academy, I brought that back just to have pride. For example, if I could be at another building or another location, and I say one or two things and you'll even hear it. Matter of fact, you hear my voice say yes, sir? Yes, sir. Who's the best? Me. And you see how even they know who's the best. Who's got that Best Academy pride? They have pride in their school.
He also is a person that we can talk to about as an administrator to what's going on in the building, what's really happening that we need to do in order to improve so that our teachers are happy, so that they can indeed teach our young men at a high level.
I think Mr. Blackman is so special to me because when I was in elementary school, I never liked the ELA, but now since coming to Best Academy and having Mr. Blackman as my ELA gifted teacher, I love ELA.
It means a lot. My young men, they look at me and say, wow, I have a teacher at this building or in our district that's, I know this man. I know Mr. Blackman. And that means a lot to me when they say my teacher is the teacher of the year for middle school. 30 minutes with the book or even an ebook helps. I wonder who else told you that? Mr. Who? Some job, and I always make sure that I pitch education. Pitch education because they need to see other than football players. They need to see the black man other than on the TV screen, perhaps in handcuffs, something that they can see as a role model. There's a purpose of why everybody is here. Some people may not find that out till they're older, but each young man, we should provide every and any opportunity that they know that their purpose, or know what their purpose is eventually in their life. And the gates to those opportunities are here at Best Academy and in Atlanta Public Schools.
Like Mr. Blackman, J. Angela Wilder is not your atypical teacher. Like many dynamic educators, she brings something unique to the table. I can say personally, I got a hard lesson in theater, known to some as Le Théâtre. As my research indicates, this class discipline promotes an environment where many skills are needed to be successful. A few days into Miss Wilder's class dispelled a popular belief that theater students are always preparing for the next big school production. This difference maker proves to be our second Floridian of episode 8. Hailing from the Fort Lauderdale area, educator Wilder has devoted her last 13 years to helping students find a true voice through theater. She's been in over 30 major productions, both local and national, which have all been augmented with her talents. She makes it clear that as a student entering her classroom, an opportunity will be created for you.
This altered my entire mindset as a child. I began to desire to be a non-judgmental and supporting individual. This was the first major impact from teaching on my life. Teaching has compromised my ability to live in a box. It has brought me balance and the truest essence of what love is. I have been blessed to be able to take my passion in acting and share it with children who struggle with their emotions and properly releasing their self-expression. William Shakespeare said, "The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away." I have a gift to impart knowledge to my students through theater. I teach in the hopes of inspiring and empowering my students to have a voice. I do it to foster cultural thinking skills and to encourage discussion and creativity in the arts. I have to say I am so elated to receive such a prestigious honor as the APS District High School Teacher of the Year. And I'm even more excited and honored to be the representative for arts and education for the APS District High School Teacher of the Year. I was so happy and so just overjoyed by the experience and everything that former APS District Teachers of the Year and State Teachers of the Year, the board members, Dr. Karstarfin, just everybody, Dr. Watkins, the AAE, everybody who put together all the banquets and just made us feel special. They went out of their way to laugh with us. It was just an extremely fun event, and they made us feel like we were actually celebrities. We should strive, all of us should strive to be Teachers of the Year, not for the accolades, but Teachers of the Year in your classroom and in your school, and really, really preparing our students for post-secondary options.
Now sit back and reach for your inner self as Ms. Wilder and her students take you on an academic voyage to the theater.
The sun escaping from the breaking clouds as it sank towards the hills they had left was now shining brightly again. Their fear left them, though they felt uneasy. True impact happens when you look 5, 10, or even 20 years, down the road, and you ask the question, will your students remember something you said, or have you inspired them in any way? Do they remember any of your classroom experiences?
And how she was as a kid.
For me, academic rigor is important because I think that even though you're an artist, you need to be able to express yourself. You need to know how to write. You need to know how to speak. It says, writing has voice if it shows the writer's personality. What does that mean? Let's get someone on this side. Kiosha. It's really important that our students not only learn how to write, but they learn the 6 traits of writing, and they learn how to develop their own voice, not just by acting, but also through writing, and really understanding who they are as a person and how that is reflected through their writing. Just as a car needs a tune-up to run efficiently, our teachers need to be tuned up, and also our students. One way that our teachers can be tuned up is by looking at student strengths and weaknesses and using reflection to differentiate for the students. And the students can tune up by through informative assessments and looking at also their strengths and weaknesses and areas of improvement.
Because she has an arts background and has a desire to better understand the connection between the arts and the core academics, she has an innate ability to bring her colleagues along and do a lot of collaboration for kids to showcase their depth of knowledge.
Wilder wants you to prevail. Like, she always wants you to succeed. Even if you feel like it wasn't meant to be, she'll show you a way where you can make it meant to be. She actually cares about her students. She loves being here and wants to be around us. And knowing that we're in such a hard community where we're not given a lot or privileged as much as other students are in other schools, she'll come out her own pocket sometimes and give us things that our surroundings wouldn't give us.
theater is definitely a real class, and I know people may think that it is a playing space, which it is, but it's not just a playing space. And it's very important to understand that we do actually do writing. Just a week ago, before the writing test to help prep the students, we spoke about, or my lesson was about ethos, pathos, and logos.
It flows in you in and out. Ever since you've been a child, it's been a while since you smiled. You're in and out, in and out.
Setting high expectations for students is very important, and definitely having clear objectives and engaging the students. I think that's extremely important today in working with our generation. The kids feel safe. I let them know that they don't have to have the right answer, and it's okay to make mistakes. If you're going to make a mistake, this is the place to do it. I am making sure standards are met, and I'm making sure that I incorporate multiple intelligences. Our students learn differently. Some students are naturalistic, some students are body kinesthetic, so we have to cater to those needs as well, and we want to make sure we're differentiating in the classroom. So you're differentiating by content, you're differentiating the process, and also the product.
Now you might have heard that famous expression, quote unquote, and then there were three. As this show's title proclaims, this trio of educators, Payne, Blackman, and Wilder, are undoubtedly making a difference. In a spirited discussion of strength finders, perhaps their inner strengths alone will run the gamut shared by many great educators across the Atlanta Public Schools. As Teachers of the Year, Payne, Blackman, and Wilder have once again reset the bar of excellence in the district, demonstrating that there are many ways to be the best, support student achievement, and alter the course of young people's lives. Thank you for joining us, and you've just experienced Difference Makers Episode 8.